So I'm just reminding you, each day of this week, I'm reading the passage in my Bible, but I'm checking the background in the study Bible. And that's what I just showed you. Then I'm recording everything I'm finding. The first thing I do is I write out a title. And I wrote as my title, The Invisible War. And I summarize these two chapters, Job 1 and 2, as the invisible war. Then every time I read it, and I'm reading it every day this week, I'm finding as many lessons as possible. And I've found almost 20. And truths and doctrines. And I write them down in my own words. Now remember, this is just for you to grow and learn. And then, of course, I'm studying other resources. But here's the most important part. And every week I remind you, write a prayer in which you ask the Lord to unleash a truth you found or a lesson you found into not your wife, your girlfriend, your husband's life, or your children, or your coworkers. What? Into your life, into my life. Okay, now this is my journal, and if you look up, here it is. Again, I show you nothing fancy. Remember how I prepare it? I have the index in the front, and then I'm just writing, and I'm writing and writing. I have lots of pages that I'm writing. But up here, the title, all these are the lessons. Down here is the prayer. Now, since you can't read that, look back at the slides. Here's my journal typed out for you. Week 10, Job 1 and 2, I wrote as my title, Job, God, and Satan, the invisible war. Then, this is what I sketched out as the summary. There's an unseen battle that swirls. Job and his family are exposed to the amazing cosmological warfare going on between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness. Now, what is the invisible war? And I spent a long time looking, cross-referencing through other parts of the Bible. And you can use your MacArthur Study Bible. It gives multitudes of passages to look at. But look what I wrote. When Paul said we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, he said that here, 2 Corinthians 2:11. He was reminding us what the Bible teaches about the various tools Satan and his demons employ to perform mind games. That's what the Greek word devices or wiles. You know, we're not ignorant of his devices. The Greek word means mind games. It's actually the word for our mind, and it's used kind of like we're not ignorant of what he's doing to our mind. And also that word is in Ephesians 6:11. Now Peter, that's what Paul said up here, but Peter now expands this from our minds to our bodies. And he talks about the ongoing military type of campaign that Satan wages against our body through the gateway of lusts. That's 1 Peter 2:11. And the word he uses is stratuantoi, strategy. It's a military campaign. Now look, this is most important. We are sometimes unsure of what Satan and his demons can really do. However, Job 1 and 2 gives us more clear insight from God on what Satan and his demons can do to believers, saints, and spirit-indwelt ones than any other passage in the Bible. And as you saw over here, the bad news is Satan is always watching. It's far worse than the surveillance state we see growing around us with AI, facial recognition, GPS, and vast databases like Clearview. Did you see that this week? Clearview, that's a company. They have scraped Facebook and Google, and they have 3 billion faces that the facial recognition cameras using AI can identify with your name as you're walking through any city that has those cameras. Isn't that amazing? Worse than that is the superintelligent aliens that are among us unseen, listening, and interfering with both our minds and our bodies. Okay?